Welcome YouTube, I'm Daniel, the Moving Doc, and in this video I will discuss how to get your first chin up, the common mistakes most beginners make, and how long it will take you to get there. But first, I would like to know what stopped you from getting your chin up in the past. So please comment below with your biggest struggle and I'll make sure to respond. Also, make sure to like and subscribe this video and the channel because I'll be making a video on how to go from 1 to 5 chin-ups in a future video, and I won't want you to miss it. Okay, now that you've liked and subscribed, before we jump into the program, I want to make sure that you don't make these 3 common mistakes. The first common mistake I always see is people jumping into their chin-up. And this is as soon as they get into the gym, they're super excited and they just want to jump into doing a chin-up and having an attempt. Now, it's awesome that you have an attempt. It's great that you're trying. But the problem with this approach is that you don't strengthen the bottom of the chin up, which is actually the hardest part. And so you never really develop the necessary strength to get a full chin up in full range of motion. That's mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 is using a band. Now, don't get me wrong, bands are super useful, especially for strengthening the top of a chin up. However, we run into the same problem as mistake number 1, and that's that we don't strengthen the bottom of the chin up. The band will be at most tension when you're at the bottom, which means that it's giving you the most support here. That also means though, you don't have to pull as much from the bottom. So you're left still feeling weak in that part. And the last mistake I see is that people don't set a proper foundation by strengthening their rotator cuff muscles and the stabilizers of their shoulder blade. To get a chin up with ease, you need to feel stable through the shoulders and through the shoulder blades. Otherwise, we struggle to produce enough force to power through that chin up. In this video today, I want to make sure that you don't run into any of these problems. So throughout the programming, you will see how we can set up to make sure that you've got the best chance to hit your first chin up. To get started with laying out your program, please get a pen and paper or open up an Excel sheet somewhere where you can keep this program and make sure to follow along with it and track your progress along the way. Tracking your progress is going to be super important in making sure that you are getting stronger along the weeks and that you are getting closer to your chin up. All right, the first thing we need to do is create 2 different training days. Now, I always recommend and suggest that people train 2 to 4 times per week when trying to get the chin up. The frequency is super important in making sure that you are able to get the skill and build the necessary strength for the chin up without getting injured. So the first thing we want to do is make sure we're training 2 to 4 times per week to get our chin up. I always like to suggest 3 times per week so that you can train on the Monday, Wednesday, and the Friday and have Saturday and Sunday to recover and rest your muscles. This is going to be highly important in building the strength for your chin up. And although I've said to you that I suggest you to train 3 days per week, you will actually only be creating 2 days of training program. How come? Well, what if you miss a day? Well, if you miss Monday, Wednesday, or the Friday, and you have 3 training sessions that you've created, well, if you miss one of those days, then you're forced to catch up or try to make it up. We want to make sure that you have the maximum chance at hitting your program and staying motivated throughout this period. So you have 2 training sessions now, and you will also have 3 days of training, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Session 1 will start on Monday, session 2 will start on Wednesday, and then you'll repeat again on Friday, session 1. And you repeat this cycle over a period of 4 weeks to begin with. In day 1 of your program, you'll be completely focused on rowing exercises and shoulder stability. So to begin with, you'll be starting with scapular circles. You'll complete 10 circles forward and 10 circles backward. For the main strength exercise in this program, you'll be completing a rowing variation of either an incline barbell row or an incline ring row. This will be with a supinated hand grip position. You'll start with 8 repetitions and over the sessions, you'll increase by 2 reps at a time, making sure that you're working at 8 out of 10 difficulty. I'll explain this a little later on. The last stability exercise you will be doing for your shoulders is an external rotation off the knee. So your elbow is placed on the knee We let the hand completely drop down toward our ankle, and then we externally rotate, taking the hand up. We do this exercise to strengthen our infraspinatus and teres minor external rotator muscles. They help to stabilize the shoulder, and this will be your driving force, remember, to getting that chin up. Day 2 of the program is more focused on chin up technique and core strength. In the warm-up, you'll be completing a scapular pull to go from passive to active, so that you can warm up the stabilizers of the shoulder blade and feel a nice smooth motion through those shoulder blades. The second and main exercise of the program will be an assisted chin up, keeping the feet on the floor and driving the elbows down to the rib cage so you can mimic the feeling of a proper chin up. This exercise is quite hard to objectively measure, so what we need to do is apply that same thinking of our 8 out of 10 RPE. RPE stands for rate of perceived exertion, meaning how hard does it feel to you? That's your rate of perceived exertion. We want to always feel like we're working at 8 out of 10, and you will only be completing 5 repetitions each session. So the main aim is to start feeling lighter on the feet until it feels like you're the one controlling majority of the chin up. As for the last exercise, this will be a dead bug hold. Laying on your back, making sure the knees are tucked and that we're curling up from the shoulders. You want to feel the abs on in this position. It shouldn't feel the hip flexors or the lower back. So make sure to tweak it if you need to. You will hold this position for 30 seconds and increase by 10 seconds over the sessions until the 4 weeks is over. I know we've just gone through a lot of information and I hope you're taking notes, but if you have any questions, please comment below and I'll be sure to respond. Awesome. Now you've got your program for the next 4 weeks. But before you get started, I want to address a common question I get asked, and that is, should you be training on the rings or should you be training on the bars? And like I said earlier, I will always suggest the rings. There is more to this. Now, as the rings shake, it means that your shoulder must stabilize. And if your shoulder has to stabilize, then it means you will be stronger over time. So even if you get a chin up on the rings, you're more likely to get a chin up on the bar also. Whereas if you train only on the bars, you're less likely to be able to get a chin up on the rings on your first go. So I hope that answers that question if any of you were thinking, which one should I use? Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking, and that is, how long is it going to take me to get a chin up on this program? And you already probably know my answer. And that is always going to be, it's individualized to you and your starting point. However, there are a few signs to know whether you are quite close to a chin up. And the first sign is, can you control yourself all the way down in a negative chin up from the top for 30 seconds in a very clean and controlled manner? The second sign is, can you use the lightest band at the gym or available to you to perform a chin up? If you can do so, then it means you're quite strong from the bottom. The last sign is that you can hold a passive hang on a bar for 60 seconds. This is a very good sign of grip strength, which means you've got a solid chance of getting your chin up within the next 1 to 2 weeks. All right, I hope this has been super helpful to you and that you are more confident in getting your first chin up. I would love for you to comment down below to let me know if there is anything else you would like me to create a video on that might help you on your journey. Now, I know I've just laid out my complete playbook to get a chin up. I've told you all the common mistakes. I've told you how often you should train, how many reps to get there, what you should and should not do. But I still want to invite you to my online 8-week chin up bootcamp because I know you're going to gain a lot more from it. There is additional core and cardio exercises included in the program. You will also have access to my training app and full descriptions of exercises with progressions coming every 2 weeks. You will also get access to me by asking questions in the community page and also the community itself. There is nothing more motivating than being a part of a community when you are trying to hit a goal, and I highly recommend that you check it out. So it is in the description below. You can check out the link there and it will take you to the page with more information. But if I don't see you in the chin up community, best of luck on your journey. I truly hope you do well. And if you have any questions or you'd like to reach me and share that journey, then hit me up at @themovingdoc on my Instagram, because I'd love to see what you're up to. Peace out, YouTube.